Like
Sure,
green light. Yeah, sure. Tiwo Lava Ultra featuring Van Roy. Welcome to Let's Argue. Good evening.
sure. Mzanze, how's everyone doing? Hope everyone is safe. Hope everyone is enjoying. Let's get it.
Yeah, this is the show where we disagree professionally or as professional as can be, and then we shake hands like we're at a prize giving. If Van Roy, how's your week been, Big Boss?
It's been, I don't want to lie. That holiday actually did me a solid. I rested. Yo, brah, the
Yeah.
festive is just, it's proving to be on my side, ne? Like, yeah, I feel it's festive.
Well, listen, just try and relax, ne? Because tonight we got receipts, homie. We're talking
Sure.
about the Carabao Cup drama from midweek action. Then we're gonna preview some weekend action, and that is stacked, big boss. We have the Premier League, we have La Liga, we have Serie A, and on Sunday, the AFCON 2025 is kicking off.
Yeah, sure. And then, yeah, Thibaut, where Thibaut states facts, ne? You need to show up with confidence, my friend, but sometimes you need to have receipts as well.
Yeah, no, look, ne, let's go for it, Van Roy, because from
Sure,
where I'm
sure,
standing, ne, it's called range. Let's fucking get into it, big boss. We had
sure,
some
sure.
Carabao Cup action midweek. Ne?
Yeah,
We saw things kicking off with Manchester City entertaining Brentford. Ne? Now, Manchester City are in the semi-finals. They got a 2-0 win over Brentford, and the headline is that Ryan Cherky opener. That boy is sizzling hot, big boss. And I know it's winter that side, so he's definitely keeping them warm. Manchester City finally look like the team that remembered that their city. And I
yeah,
don't know,
sure.
this is like that time of the evening where they really, really, really start getting into their stride. Van Roy.
Yeah, near. Just to add on that, ne, Brentford, they basically in that match ne, versus City, they tried to be brave, but City punished that bravery like it was a bad pass in your own box. The
Aish.
scary part of that game is ne, City didn't even look like they hit the top gear, my friend.
And actually, that's what makes them dangerous, Van Roy. No, when they win cup games without Ramane, and you know
Yeah,
that Pep Guardiola is rotating, it's like they're already cooking, with a B team in a semi-final. Like,
yeah.
it's kind of crazy, bro.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Pep is cooking. Sometimes, basically, it means like playing a left back as a false nine. But on that night, ne, they kept things simple, and City looked like the better team in on that night.
Yeah, so Manchester City are into the semi-finals for the first time since 2021. And now we will wait for the draw implications and the momentum into the league weekend action, big boss. And then after that, we saw Newcastle entertaining Fulham. It ended in
Yeah,
a 2-1 victory in favor of the home team.
yeah, sure. And then Newcastle on the other end, my friend, they look like title holders, behaving like title holders. They won that match 2-1. They were
Already.
at home. Yeah, they were at home, so they were quite comfortable. And a stoppage time header from a teenager named Lewis Miley, actually. That's the kind of moment that basically turns the season into a story.
Yeah, that goal was pure class, man. That goal was,
Yeah,
I want this more than you, you
yeah.
can't coach that type of desire, big boss. You can only select the guy brave enough to attack the ball at that minute.
Yeah, that's very very true. Newcastle's cup identity remains strong. There's one key factor that comes into that. The
Yes,
confidence
sir.
that you get from this, ne, go straight into the weekend where they've got another mammoth of a monster task ahead of them.
Yeah, which brings us neatly into the Premier League fixtures, big boss,
Sure,
because
sure.
Newcastle tomorrow they are going to face off against the world champions Chelsea. Now,
Yeah,
Newcastle versus Chelsea, this is nothing new. This one I think is a bit spicy, taking into account everything that has happened in this season. Who's calling you there, Fanroy?
Hey, it's I think it's my child's phone there that's ringing.
Oh, okay, okay. Give him my regards, ne?
Sure,
Now
sure.
listen, there's one stat that I think counts more than the others. Ne?
Yeah,
Newcastle have conceded in each of their 9 Premier League matches. So they score, yes, but they also leave the door open there at the back.
and it can
Pause.
be and then you have to pause. Yo, did you
Hey,
make
man.
us
Hey, hey,
all
hey,
pause?
hey, man.
Every
Hey,
sentence, Baba, you have
hey,
to
hey, hey,
pause.
hey, bruh. We can't just talk normally,
Hey,
because
bruh.
every
Yeah, sure.
sentence, it's literally looked at, with a magnifying glass, bro.
Yeah, that's true. And then on the other end, Chelsea will hear that and say, you know what? Thank you very much. Because Chelsea's biggest issue basically isn't always creating, it's turning control into a kill, my friend.
Exactly, Van Roy. Now listen, if Newcastle concede first at St. James's Park,
Yeah.
like that cathedral will turn into chaos, bro. If Newcastle score first, it becomes a storm for the world champions. And Chelsea's
Sure.
temperament, I think, will decide how things will go in the end. But I think Enzo Maresca has enough quality and enough tactical nous, to find a way to get a result at the St. James Park.
Yeah, that's true. And also, basically from a psychological angle, Newcastle
Mhm.
just did cup adrenaline, so they're gonna wanna prove a point against Chelsea. And Chelsea had it basically they that kind of team that either silence the stadium or get swallowed by it.
So I'm saying Newcastle edge it in a mad one. There'll be goals on both sides, but
Yeah.
I'm giving it to Newcastle at home.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one, but I'm saying Chelsea for the win over here. If they stay emotionally adult for that 90 minutes, it's a battle that Newcastle basically have on their hands.
Wow. Yeah, then
Yeah,
definitely. And then
sure.
after that, we're going to see Brighton and over entertaining Sunderland. Sunderland are a bogey
Hey,
side for the big boys this year.
yeah, that's true. So that game, it basically oozes fresh Premier League era, that
I
kind of
win.
energy. Yeah,
I
that
win.
kind of
So
energy.
much English, Van Roy. Come on now.
Top
Yeah,
class,
who's
brother.
this?
Top
So,
class. It's one
you've
of
been
those games
fresh for me.
basically where the table says, it's two mud pack fighting out the battle. But football basically says it can either hurt you or it can make you glorious.
Listen, Brighton at home, they will try to pass. They'll try to pass you to death. They'll try to pass you to sleep, and then they will stab you
Yeah.
with one run behind. Sunderland will try to turn it into a scrap, and then they will hit you with the pace on the counter attack.
Yeah, that's you remember I said Sunderland is a team that's cemented their place. This is basically one of those matches that is speaks about control and rhythm. If Sunderland makes it chaotic, Brighton will suffer, and if Brighton can make it clean, Sunderland will basically chase shadows, my friend.
Pandro, you're basically describing your last relationship.
Yeah, you remind me of that song. Should I give up or should I just keep chasing pavements?
Ay, 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 ay. I
Now
know,
I'm turning
listen.
into Lebza now. Huh? Lebza is the
I'm
one that
telling you,
always sings.
you and him need to drop an album.
Yeah, Nia.
You'll be like the Neo Backstreet Boys or something. I don't know. You'll figure it out.
We need
Anyways,
Vito for that one.
Vito's the one who's gonna sing in the rain, bruh.
Yeah, when he
Vito,
holds
man.
the air,
He's
that's
that
when he
kind of
says,
nigga. Yeah, he's the one. That 90s, early 2000 R&B
yeah,
vibe. Yeah, he's that kind. So listen,
yeah,
after that, we're gonna see Manchester City entertaining West Ham. Now listen, the Hammers are going to the Etihad Stadium. This is City versus West Ham, and the key question here, Van Roy,
mm,
can the Hammers survive the first 25 minutes without conceding? Because
yeah.
once Manchester City smell the blood in the water, it's a wrap.
That's true. And this is where Lebza would come in and sing that song of his, I need a hammer to hammer them down. But yeah, and there's also a heavy state that weighs on Man City. Man City have now won their last 5 Premier League matches against West Ham. So that's going to be a blockbuster. We'll see if West Ham can build that mental fortitude against City.
Yeah, listen, that's not a trend, that's a habit, eh? I mean, West Ham need a
Yeah.
perfect defensive plan plus clinical counter attacks because you know Manchester City are going to be stingy with the possession.
Yeah, and they proved to be clinical as well. City also um, came in. They basically come into that match with a cup momentum. When City basically are collecting clean wins, the league becomes their playground again. So we'll see what Pep's side actually holds in that game.
So wait, unless West Ham arrive with a miracle and a prayer, Manchester City are favorites.
Yeah, no, that's very true. They will be favorites. West Ham are struggling, but they have that ability to fight back at times. So we'll see what happens there.
And then we have Tottenham Hotspur entertaining Liverpool at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Take us through this one, Van Roy.
Yeah, near this fiction, it's going to be electric, my friend. So it's got that extra tension because both teams had their time on the training ground to change things, basically to fix things. You get me? So we'll see
Yeah,
what's going to happen there.
yeah. Listen, let me read the recent run like a bedtime story, right? Where Liverpool are concerned, of course, because this is
Ish.
wild, bruh. Now,
Yeah,
listen, they got results like a 3-3 draw at Leeds United, ne? And then a 1-0 win at Internazionale in the Champions League. It was 2-0 versus Brighton. It was 2-0 versus West Ham, but also
yeah.
that painful 4-1
Ish.
defeat to PSV Eindhoven in the Champions League is also sitting in the background. But I think, more bad results, came after that PSV result. So, I imagine that the players forgot about it now.
Yeah, for Liverpool's sake, my team, I hope that they forgot about it. So yeah, Liverpool's form basically, sometimes it's like popping champagnes, popping bottles, but sometimes it can basically be stress, my friend. Like I'm telling you, like I would shout, I would scream, yes, pass the ball. I see that through run, and then it just doesn't happen. On the other hand, Spurs, they basically have that adrenaline, with the side of risk, my friend.
Yeah. No, listen, it's definitely wild because here's the argument, right? Spurs at home will press like a team that drank 2 energy drinks before the game starts, right?
Red
Whilst
Bull and Dragon.
Liverpool's response is whether can they play through the first wave without panicking? Can they start Mohamed Salah on the bench without risking losing the game? It's like, there's so many things that they need to factor in. And I don't know, Fandro, if you saw this, this is just a side note. Nah?
Yeah,
Um, who's the gentleman that you signed for 120 million from Newcastle? Alexander Isak.
it's like,
Alexander
yeah,
Isak won the Swedish Ballon d'Or. So the Swedish Ballon d'Or,
yeah.
the best Swedish player, right? He beat
So,
Victor Gyökeres, who
yeah,
was the top scorer, and I think he finished behind Kylian Mbappe in the Golden Boot. They
yeah.
gave it to your boy, broski. So I don't know. What do you
I,
think or feel about that?
that's a tricky one for me because Isak is not firing on all cylinders. It basically shows that Eketike is there, bruh. Yeah, Eketike is there. So we'll see what's going to happen there. And another key individual becomes everything. Your first touch under pressure, that speaks volumes. Your defensive transitions, basically. Your discipline. One sloppy pass and, bro, that's track meet.
Excuse me, Fandroy. Listen, just give me your prediction. Goals, always goals. We'll argue about who wins later. We need a whole a separate show for that one. Just give me your prediction.
Oh, it's not gonna be easy, but I say that it's not gonna be easy, bruh. Liverpool, uh, away, ne? They give me heartburn. I don't wanna lie, but I believe in my team. I believe that you know what they coming off of a win as well. So I give it a 2-1 for my team.
2-1 win for Liverpool at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Yeah,
You heard it first, guys. Van Roy is going with Liverpool. Ne? Sweet. And then I think the last game for the evening on Saturday will be Everton, who will be entertaining Arsenal. Now,
yeah,
Arsenal are the machine to beat. But Everton have been, I don't know, playing with no fear, especially
yeah.
when they smell an upset at home. Could they maybe come along Christmas right around the corner with an upset and dent this Arsenal side's title
Yeah.
challenge?
Yeah, I think they have a good team. They have good players. They're gonna give Arsenal a run for their money. But if you look at Arsenal, ne, their title
Mm.
challenge posture, ne, it oozes out. Um, can you
There's
do
that.
ugly wins in a place that basically don't care about your beautiful passing triangles? We will see. That's a question mark on my end.
Yeah, listen, Everton will make it physical, eh? They'll try and
Yeah,
slow the game down, and they'll also live for set pieces just like Arsenal. Arsenal, I think they need to stay patient and they mustn't chase the game emotionally.
yeah,
I mean, I think it's going to be a marvel to see, Jack Grealish's calves, or can I say his potteries,
yeah.
versus the muscle and the aggression from the Arsenal side. We'll see who comes out on top.
Yeah, sure. And then if Arsenal can just score first, ne, then you know that it's a long night for Everton. But if Everton score first, then you know the stadium becomes a wrestling ring. We'll see John Cena and Big Show there. Tin, tin, tin,
Hey,
tin.
hey, 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 hey. Yeah, listen, then Van Roy on Sunday, we're going to see Aston Villa. They'll be hosting Manchester United.
Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be a very, very nice fixture to basically watch. Aston Villa sits top on, I think they're in the top four on the league. So it's Villa versus United. This kind of match is where form matters and confidence is loud. It speaks volumes. Villa's recent show, they basically they're not fluking it, my friend. They've beaten Arsenal. If you look at it, they also beaten Brighton away from home. And they're taking wins across all competitions. So they're firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, that's very true, eh? That's very true. And I think the other day they also beat Manchester City. But listen, Manchester United's problem in the big away games is always the
Yeah.
same question. Do they control the match or do they just survive it?
Yo, that's good. It's gonna be a very tough watch, but you know, Villa and the Emery, that guy that says good evening, they love
Yes.
it, ne? When you open in pace, ne? And then they'll invite you forward basically, and then hit you where it hurts the most, my friend.
Yeah, so this United side, they need structure, big boss.
Yeah,
Aston Villa, I guess they need timing. So this is chess with tackles. Now,
yeah,
I read something earlier on this afternoon that alluded to the fact that Ruben Amorim this weekend is going to try playing with a back four. Now,
yeah,
will this be the moment that the squad have been waiting for all this time, where Ruben Amorim will ditch this three or five defender system that is clearly hasn't been bearing fruit, or will this be another botched plan? It's yet to be
I,
seen.
we will see. We will
Now
see.
let's move on to La Liga, biggest boss. La Liga is the league of the stars. La Liga is serving a variety. There's
Yeah.
relegation scrambles, there's title races, there's tactical duels. Now, first and foremost, we're going to see tonight Valencia entertaining Real Mallorca.
Yeah, that's basically going to be a dogfight, you know. Valencia is going to be in a dogfight zone. Mallorca, they're trying to basically stabilize their team. It's that kind of match where one goal changes the mood of the entire month in the stadium on that night.
Oh yeah, definitely, big boss, and it's always a tense affair at the Mestalla Stadium, especially
Yeah,
with the pressure that they have, finding themselves sitting 17th on the log. This is don't make mistakes football until somebody does.
yeah, that's very, very true. It's gonna be an
Yeah, and then
exciting
after
one.
that, yeah, then after that, tomorrow, the headliner will be Real Madrid playing against Sevilla. Real Madrid are at home. The narrative pressure is heavy. At the Bernabeu, you expected to win, but Sevilla are the type of opponent that can turn one moment into a problem.
And a very, very big problem. A very big problem, my friend. So you have to watch out that back line of yours. Sometimes I don't trust it, but yeah, it's also a stylistic clash if you look at it. Madrid want to control with bursts of speed, while Sevilla basically want to disrupt the rhythm and force you into frustration. So yeah, I think your team is gonna get a run for their money on that one. Ukatele, ne?
Yeah, you know what, Nefandre, I don't dispute that. In fact, you know what, I don't dispute that, but I'm a little worried with the manner in which things are being organized in La Liga. I mean, we
Yeah,
played a Copa del Rey game on Wednesday, but we are playing on Saturday. The other teams, they are playing on Sunday, and I don't understand who's actually handling the schedule there in La Liga. But
yeah.
anyways, without getting into other things, let's just move on to the Sunday fixtures where we're going to see Girona entertaining Atletico de Madrid.
Yeah, sure. So Girona versus Atleti. This is always awkward, because Girona can play. They really, really can play. They just don't sit back and hope for that moment of brilliance. So that's gonna be a good match.
Yeah, listen, Atletico will try to suffer well and then win the moments. If Diego Simeone's heritage is anything to go by, then you can have the ball, but we'll take the points. And Atletico Madrid, the form that they find themselves in lately, I
Yeah,
think anyone can be forgiven for considering them as favorites in this game.
yeah. No, that's 100% true. It's gonna be a good watch, though.
And then on Sunday, we're going to see Villarreal, the Yellow Submarine, taking on FC Barcelona, FC Refalona, FC VAR, FC Negreira. This is high quality, big boss. Now, Villarreal have been right up there with the big boys. Barcelona obviously leading, and head to head recently hasn't been kind to the Yellow Submarine, especially in the league meetings.
Yeah, no, that's true. And ne, football, ne, isn't history class. If it's true, my friend, it's not a history class. It speaks about form. If Villarreal ne start fast and finish chances ne, if they get early chances ne, you will see they can make it very uncomfortable. And of course, they are playing at home, so they have the crowd against Barcelona.
Yeah, and listen, Barcelona's test is basically mentality. I mean,
Yeah,
you can travel to a big ground and still play like you own the league. But I want to refute your last comment, Van Roy. You know, where you're saying they have home advantage, they might make. Barcelona have a 12th man and maybe even a 13th man,
it's the
because
ref.
there's the referee and there's the VAR team. So, if things get bad, because I don't
Yeah,
know, Fandro, if maybe when you grew up, you watched WWF or WWE wrestling, so
yeah,
sometimes like two people could be beefing, right? There could be a rivalry there, né? And
sure.
then they might be a third part, like a Stone Cold Steve Austin, who
Yeah,
will miraculously maybe find himself as a referee in a match between Triple H and Shawn Michaels, just for example, you see. But then
yeah.
Stone Cold Steve Austin as the referee will be the one who actually determines whether Triple H or HBK will win the match. So this is kind of like what things are like in that liga. But
I wish
anyways,
I wish Lebo was here to comment
yeah, I
on
know
that.
he's watching. Yeah, wherever he is, I know he's watching, and he knows I'm not lying. But it's fine. Eh? We're going to see the Los Verde Blancos Real Betis entertaining Getafe, which will be the last game for Sunday.
Yeah, near. So Betis basically, it's basically Betis creativity versus Getafe grit. So that's art versus sandpaper. We're gonna see. That's also gonna be a very very nice match to watch. But we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, listen, if Betis score early, then the game opens up. And if they
Yeah,
don't, then Getafe will turn it into a 90-minute argument. And listen, they are undefeated with that skill, Blani. So
yeah, that's true.
if they don't, if a Real Betis don't score first, you already know that it's gonna be low block, pack the pass for
Yeah,
like 89 minutes or something, bruh.
and then they will play 5 men at the back, ne?
Ah, you know, Mus. You know, Mus. Yeah, listen, Fandro, let's move on to the Serie A because we love the
Yeah,
Serie A. Ne?
spaghetti people.
Uh, First things first, we're seeing Juventus taking on Roma, AS Roma. Juventus and AS Roma, it feels like an early 6 pointer in a title race. If you lose
Yeah.
it, you're suddenly chasing it. And if you win it, you're still in the race.
Yes, and tactically, that's very fascinating. If you look at it, um, Juve on the other end, they want structures to be very, very clean. They want to have clean moments, while Roma want to turn it into an emotional momentum. So yeah, it's wave after wave. It's gonna be exciting match to watch.
Yeah, listen, me Van Roy, I'm calling it right now. It'll be tense, it'll be tactical, and the winner will be the team that keeps its head.
Yeah, sure. That's very, very true.
I don't know. There's a former Argentinian. Well, yeah, he hasn't been playing for the Argentinian national team ever since he mentioned that in Argentina they are forced to hate on Cristiano Ronaldo. But Paulo Dybala, big boss. I don't know if you remember this guy.
Yeah,
Like this
yeah.
guy
So
completely fell off, bro. He fell. You know when he left Juventus on a free
yeah,
transfer and he went to AS Roma. I don't know. I had this idea or this belief in my head that he's gonna shake off the injuries and he's gonna find his
yeah.
best form and we're gonna he's gonna give us joy again. We're gonna be able to see the best level of Paulo Dybala. Dude, it hasn't happened to this day. It hasn't happened.
And I don't think it's gonna happen in this match as well. So I don't know. That guy just fell off the radar. He's basically not getting enough time to play. If he does, and then yeah, it's another story. I feel bad for him in a way, that
Is it too late?
I think it's a bit too late for him. I don't think he can revive his career.
I Then with that, let's move on to the Africa Cup of Nations 2025 that's kicking off on Sunday. We're gonna see Morocco entertaining Comoros. Biggest line,
Yeah.
take us through.
So the AFCON opener, it's like you said, Morocco versus Comoros. Morocco at home, with the expectation that they need to shine. Comoros on the other end, they have underdog freedom. So we'll see what they're gonna do there. They're coming into that match as underdogs, and you know what underdogs can do when your back is against the wall, you come out fighting.
Yeah, I think this is a time for us to lay down bets, Van Roy, because there are going to be many upsets once this tournament kicks off. And listen,
Yeah,
just adding on to what you just said now, that's very correct, and it's a dangerous mix because the favorites they carry pressure, and the underdogs they almost carry the opposite of that. They carry joy. Morocco
yeah.
must start fast to settle the nerves, being the host nation and all.
Yeah, sure. But Comoros will most likely stay compact. They will steal moments. And if they get to score first, the whole tournament mood basically changes, my friend.
Yeah, but if Morocco score early, big boss, then it becomes a statement on the night. Because
Yeah, that's
lest we
true.
forget, I don't know about you, but I feel like this Morocco side, they are definitely favorites for this tournament because I think the whole squad or the whole group or crop of players that they have now, they are honestly firing on every single cylinder possible. And listen, I have them as favorites. I don't know about you.
Yeah, they're gonna wanna prove a point. They are hosting, so they're going to put all of the pressure on every team that they actually gonna face, and they're gonna show that what, we're not just hosting, we are here to compete.
Now, without being a weirdo, is it early for you to give us your prediction of this AFCON tournament? Who's your winner
I I
before
definitely
it kicks off?
I definitely think that Morocco will win this one.
At home, they'll win it at home.
They will win it. Morocco
Are
will
you
win it
standing
at
on
home.
this, Van Roy? Are
I'm
you sure you're
standing on
standing on
business,
this?
my friend.
All right, listen. I think now it's time for us to move on to our audience fire questions segments, right? So
Yeah,
in this particular section, we're just going to go over some of the questions that our viewers, have sent us, and we're going to try and answer them as very quickly as possible. Okay, Van Roy.
sure, sure.
All right, Van Roy. In one sentence, who's most likely to get the biggest upset this weekend?
Yeah, I if there's just a lot of teams, bruh. It's December. There's a lot of teams playing. There's football everywhere. Um, I think if we talk about upsets, I think the biggest upset will be the City game. If you look at it, basically a top team, if they can play away from home in a stadium where the crowd smells blood, and that's the shock that they will get. I don't know. I don't know about you, but I think that City will be the biggest shock. I think that in one sentence, that will be the biggest upset because they are title chasers. I think, yeah, that will be the biggest upset for me. I don't know about you.
Yeah, yeah, that's not a team, big boss. That's like poetry, what you're telling us right now. But okay.
Yeah, Nia. Okay, fine. Now your turn, In one sentence, who's your must watch, player this weekend?
Must watch.
Yeah.
You must watch. Must watch. Shucks.
Who do you
Must
look
watch.
forward to?
Must watch. Ryan Cherky.
Aish. Yeah, no, I agree with you. That boy, he basically played his heart out in the last game that he had. That game that that match that he actually scored for City, that goal, it was magnificent. So yeah, I can't believe that they actually let him go for. I think it was 30 million. Do you think that's a fair price for a player of that quality?
Lani, let me tell you the honest truth, ne? When
Yeah,
Manchester City got him, I was like, oh, I'm like, ooh. Because I've been following that guy, I think, for the last 2 or 3 years. Ne?
yeah.
That boy is a rough diamond, but under the tutelage of Josep Guardiola, I think
Sure.
he will turn into a real gem.
He's gonna be a nightmare for defense. I think he's a baller as well, so he plays very, very, scintillating football for me
Oh
whenever he
yeah,
comes up. Yeah, he really, really, you know, takes that baton from whoever he comes up for, and he actually makes a difference in a game. So he's a player that you definitely want to have on your side.
I'm gonna ask you one last question, Van Roy. Ne?
Yeah.
Do you think the referees in La Liga are going to influence proceedings at all?
Yeah, yeah. Me looking at it from a neutral perspective, I think referees play a big role in La Liga. I'm not gonna say against which team or which side, but yeah, referees play a big, big role. They can go to VAR and go and check that footage and get a VAR's comment, but at the end of the day, I think it's envelopes that are talking.
Van Roy, just speaking about envelopes, ne? I don't know. Did you see during the week? I was sending you footage from the Barcelona and Negreira trial in Spain.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Actually,
I don't know if you saw. There's this one that I sent you, right? So they
yeah,
were asking Juan Laporta, who's Barcelona's president now.
yeah,
I think now is his second term, but his first term in 2005. So there were two invoices that they asked him about, man. Just random
yeah,
invoices. These invoices were made out to the companies for this vice president of the referees, Jose Enriquez Martinez Negreira, right?
yeah.
They were of the amount of 60,000 euros. Ne? And these were for aloe vera packs. When they asked him about it, he said it happened a long time ago, so he cannot really remember um
He's
these
lying.
these invoices. No, Vandro, you can't say that, man. You can't say that, man. But you know
Bruh,
what? It gets better. It gets better, ne?
yeah,
So they called in Ernesto Valverde and the current PSG coach Luis Enrique,
yeah,
and they asked them about those those referee reports, right? And you know what
yeah,
was their reply? They replied that during their tenure as the Barcelona manager, not
yeah,
even on a single occasion did they get reports pertaining to what the management were saying that those reports were for. 8 million euro is
bro.
what they're telling us, Pandroy. But if you've
It's
been watching, if you've been watching football for as long as I have, most probably it's way more than that. So I don't
and
know. What's your take on this?
and uh, and everything that you mentioned, the aloe vera packs, that for one, cracks me up. Like, what
Aloe
the
vera,
hell?
aloe
What the
vera.
hell are you
It's
doing with
insane.
aloe vera packs for players? Huh? Rather than getting
Pandroy,
bigger shin
mind you,
guards or
these are
something.
euros, Lani. Nah,
Hey,
this
bruh.
is 60,000, not 60,000 rands,
Yeah.
60,000 euro.
It's
Ah,
one, I'm gonna say it's a total waste
yeah.
of money. Two, if you look at it, the reports were never even open. So what are y'all spending money on? I just think that it's a misappropriation of funds. It's a waste of money. You know, they could have sent that money off to charity rather. That's my take on it.
I'm gonna give you an example what they're spending that money on. That money
Yeah,
goes to them being able to rob Arsenal of the opportunity of winning the 2006 Champions League final. That money
okay.
goes to them robbing Chelsea at the Stamford Bridge, where
In the
Gerard
road.
Piqué was a goalkeeper on 3 occasions. That game is remembered for a former coach Thomas Ovrebo. Those
Yeah.
payments they went to all the Clásicos when Pepe and Sergio Ramos got red carded. I could go on and on, Van Ray, but I think you get the gist of it.
I get a picture, yeah. I get a picture, my
La
friend.
Liga, Lebza. Yo. Listen, this is Pin, let's argue. Tonight we went over the Carabao Cup drama and we previewed some of the weekend action that's loading up. We're ready to get cracking this weekend. And then on Sunday, the AFCON vibes have been activated.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. So yeah. And remember guys, if basically your team loses this weekend, I don't know why I'm laughing. My team is in the mix there.
Well, your
I
team
don't
is gonna
know.
win, dog. Don't worry. Your team is gonna win.
Yeah,
Positive.
I
Positive.
have faith in it. I have spirit, But
Yeah.
yeah, if
Amandala.
if your team loses this weekend, don't fight the group chats, my friend. Come argue with us and let's see you on the next episode, basically.
You, Fandre, I couldn't have put it better myself. Listen, like, subscribe, tell your friend who thinks Tech 6 is just wanted it more. It's good night from us, Tibulava
Yeah, sure.
Ultra, featuring Fandroy. Yeah, let's see each other again on Monday. Let's
Yeah,
argue.
And then one last thing, Mzansi, please enjoy responsibly and be safe. We'll see you guys on Monday,
Every time you say that line, you remind me
Yeah,
of my principal in primary. He used to say every time we go for like the December holidays, right?
yeah.
like he would call assembly, né? And then he'd be like,
Yeah.
if you can see that your parents have had too much to drink, you must take the keys from them and tell them to behave responsibly.
He was talking about himself there. There on that statement, he
I'm
said that,
sure.
baby.
I'm sure. I'm
He knew
sure.
that his festive was gonna be lit.
I'm sure. I'm sure, Fandroy. Imagine you're like this high. You're like
Yeah.
this high, and then you gotta tell your parents that hey, you've had too much to drink, so they, give me those car keys. Hey, brah,
And they look
crazy.
at you like, oh, bona le ntwana le. Huh? He wants to tell us what to do.
Ay, Fandroy. Over and out.
Yani, yani, sharp, sharp. Show him Zanzi.